Hello, my name is Masha Nuts, and I usually make friendship bracelets on this channel. I make videos about them and tutorials occasionally as well. But today I'm going to try another thread-related craft that I've never tried before, and I have no idea how it's going to go. But today I'm trying cross-stitch. So I was in Russia about a month ago, and while I was there, I purchased this cross-stitch kit. I thought it was super cute, very festive, and I thought I'd give it a go. To be honest, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a bit too difficult for me because there are quite a lot of colors and it is quite a big design, but we will see. So let's unpack this together. It comes with some colors at the back and basically everything you need to do this. Alright, so just for context, my knowledge of cross-stitch is zero. I've never done this before, I have no idea what I'm doing. I only know that there is a needle involved and embroidery floss, which is something that I do have experience with. Alright, so we've got a pattern at the back of this sheet, and the pattern itself is basically the same patterns that we use for alpha bracelets in friendship bracelets. It's just a different way of creating the design. But what I do like is that they've got a color code at the bottom, and they assign each color a symbol, so you can have an easier time telling the colors apart within the design. It also comes with a little instruction pamphlet, which is in Russian, but I read Russian, so it's fine, that explains how to do the different stitches, since there's going to be the different stitches here, as well as a sort of embroidery at the top for the nose and the eyes and stuff. And it also just like explains basically all the basic information. I just gave it a bit of a look just now, and hopefully this will be enough for me to actually do this. And here we've got the strings, which are just regular embroidery floss, basically the same thing we use in friendship bracelets. Oh, I like this. I love how organized this is. It comes with the numbers assigned to each of the colors. And for some of them you have two. So here it says 1 and then it also says 11. 1 is the top being the white and the bottom, the 11, is like this gray color. There's 14 colors here and it looks like the strings come pre-cut to the length that you will need them in the design, which is great. And then you've got the material that you actually do the stitching onto, as well as 2 needles that you're going to be doing the stitching with. I don't know why there's 2. Maybe one is just in case, maybe one of them is different, I have no idea. But I'm going to take the needles out. Perhaps they are different because this one says needle for backstitch. I'm going to read the instructions more carefully, but I'm going to take these out for now. On closer look, they're not the same. The needle for backstitch is much sharper than the needle for not the backstitch, I don't know what it's called. So I'm going to make sure to differentiate them. That one's going to be over there. And we're left with just the canvas. So I had a consultant help me figure out exactly what I needed. And turns out I also need an embroidery hoop, which has a little pin at the top, which unscrews and the middle of it comes out. I should then place the material in the hoop like so, and push the embroidery hoop in. Oh my god. Make sure it is sort of taut at all of the areas, and then screw it back. I think I did this correctly. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, but this is how it was explained to me. I also very optimistically bought a frame, which is 13 by 13 centimeters. The design is 12 by 12. I have no idea if I'm ever gonna finish this, but I am optimistic. Alright, so there were like 20 minutes of time there that I just spent reading the instruction sheet here and realizing that I don't understand anything that is being said here. And so I instead resorted to looking at YouTube tutorials, and I'll link a few that I looked at in the description below, but they made me realize that I, first of all, probably chose a very difficult pattern to start with, which I can't fault myself entirely for, because the patterns that were in the store at the time, this is probably the easiest one I could find. The majority of them were like huge and with a million different colors. And I did ask the consultant if this was a beginner pattern, and she's like, yeah, you'll be fine. So not sure if that was true. But another thing that I realized is that I prematurely attached this hoop. I need to take the fabric out and actually figure out where the center is first. So let's do that real quick. So apparently you do that by folding it in half and then in half again. It's a little bit more difficult when this is so big. The guy on the tutorial had a very small pattern, but I think I found it. So now at that peak there, that would be my central stitch. So I just put the needle through there, and I'm gonna wiggle it around a bit to make the hole a bit bigger so I can actually see it when I do attach it to the hoop again. And let's do that. All right, I think I'm ready to start this now. Very worried about it. Alright, so after watching some tutorials online and reading the instructions, but that didn't help me much, to be honest, I finally figured out how many strands I need to use in this design. As you may know, embroidery floss comes in different strands. There are 6 strands in the embroidery floss strand. And I couldn't figure out how many I needed to use from the pattern until I realized that this is actually an indicator and you're supposed to use 2 strands per stitch, which is obvious and it was staring me in the face the whole time, but whatever. Based on the tutorials that I watched, it's easier to do big chunks of a color at once. And also it's easier to start from the center. So I've got a center line here, and I've also indicated that central stitch here by folding the canvas in half and in half again. I figured out which one is the center. So it would be probably best to start here with this stitch, and that is color number 4. From what I've gathered as well, it's best to go sort of horizontally, but it's also best to do as many stitches as you can of the same color. So I think I'm gonna go to the right and then up somehow. There is a logic to it. There is a logic to how you sort of move your needle in different areas of the stitch, in the different corners, to sort of transfer it to a different row and to make sure that it comes out the right corner. And I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually, but I am very confused for now. I also don't know how much I need of this string. So this is string number 4. I'm gonna cut off, I don't know, about this much. At least for the time being. I don't know if I should be cutting it at all. Maybe I should just be using the entire thing. I really don't know what I'm doing. But let's separate one strand. Having long nails is not gonna help me today. All right, 1 strand of embroidery floss. This is very strange for me because I'm not used to doing this at all. So I need to fold it. There's different ways of looping it through from what I've gathered as well, but let's try this method. Fold it in half and then loop this loop through this loop. Okay, I finally got it in. That took a long time. But then I heard that you're supposed to put the needle in to the loop and sort of pull the string up so there's a little knot at the top there so it won't come undone. All right, this is a very tiny string. I may have needed to cut more. We'll see. So this is the center. We need to make sure to leave a tail at the back, so I'm gonna hold on to this. But I'm pretty sure I just stitch up to the corner up there. This is so weird. But look at that, my first stitch. Now I need to stitch down again. So I think I should be coming out of here, and let's make sure that we're tucking in the tail at the back there and going in here again. So the horizontal stitches should all be in the same direction. So I'm going to the right from bottom left to top right. If I'm going to the right, I should be doing that. But if I'm going from the left, the stitches should go in the other diagonal. The thing is that based on the pattern, there's only 2 stitches here. The 2 stitches of this color right here. I guess I should be going up now, but will I be able to come back and make the rest of the stitches? I don't know, I'm very confused. But I guess we have to see. I think I'm gonna risk it and go up and see where that leads me. Let's try it. All right, so far I've done this. 2 stitches here. Now I need to go 1 up. If I need to go up, I need to come out here, I think. Come out. And we go down again here. Okay, we need to make 2 knots here, I think. My question is, will I be able to get back? Okay, because I need to make the second stitch as well. I'm just doing half stitches here. The question is, do I get back all right? Or do I not? This is fun. I can see myself getting into this. Maybe this is a new hobby that I've discovered. All right, but now I need to go up again. So I've done the 2 half stitches for these 2 and then these 2, and now I need to go up again 1. I'm thinking how to make this most efficient, which honestly, I probably shouldn't be thinking about this because I'm just starting out and I should be just getting the hang of actually how to do this. But this is a fault of my personality. I'm very much a perfectionist, so I try to get everything great the first time, and I just know I'm gonna make a mistake because of this, but let's try. I can see that there's another stitch here that I missed entirely, but I'm gonna ignore that for now. That can be just a single stitch I do eventually later at some point, I don't know. But here I'm going up, I'm here now. Maybe if I go to the right, I skip 1 stitch here, I go do 2 to the right, then I jump here, go to the right again, then go back, skip all this, do all that, skip this, do all that, skip this, do all that, then go back, up, down, and then do the rest of the stitches. Oh my god, I hope nobody is cursing at me through the screen right now, people who actually do cross stitch, but let's try this. Let's try it. Let's go up. All right, so 1, 2, 1, 2. Now up 1. So I need to come out of here. I need to cut off the end at some point, but we'll leave it be for now. So I wanted to skip 1. I'm probably not gonna have enough string left over for that grandiose plan, to be honest. I didn't cut that much, so perhaps I don't do that. Maybe, okay, maybe I chill. Maybe I just chill for a bit and do this section and see where it goes from there. Okay, I'm gonna still skip one. I'm gonna go to the right because I think I still have enough string to do that. Because there's just one right there and then another one just next to it. And I think this might be a good time to head back. Yeah, I'm gonna start heading back because I might run out of string, so let's go back. I actually don't know how to finish a row, how to get rid of the end of the string once I finish. Maybe I should have researched that before I started this. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I figured it out based on some tutorials, so let's continue. Oh, I just realized my mistake. If I'm going up here, I mean, I guess I can still do it down here. Honestly, learning a new craft is really fun, but I'm probably making a lot of mistakes. I came down here, and I need to come out of here. Can I just do that? Am I allowed to just do that? Can I just come out of this one and skip a bunch of rows? Or is that gonna make it bumpy or create some kind of issues? No idea, but let's try it. I love how it pops. How did I manage to, oh my god, I came out from something that's not even a hole. I ran out of string, so this was a good idea to turn back when I did, because I still need a bit of a tail as well to tuck it in. So good thing that I did that. All right, well, it looks fine from the front. Bit of a mess at the back, but from what I understand, I need to just thread the needle through some stitches that already exist to sort of secure that tail, like this. This looks like a mess at the back, but I think I can just cut it off now. All right, so conclusion is maybe don't cut the strings because they're probably already pre-cut to the length that I need. The question is, how do I get it off my needle now? Because I made that knot and it won't come off. Oh my god, long nails don't help in this. Well, I made a mess, but it looks all right from this side. I've got nice little tiny knots. I could only make 7 knots with the amount of string that I cut, and I thought I was getting enough for the entire thing. So perhaps I was wrong. But alright, I'm gonna tie in another piece of thread. I'm gonna work on this a little bit off camera and then I'll get back to you. This is a process, alright? This is a process. I was sitting here and thinking how this doesn't look right. It doesn't make sense to me. I thought that the stitches should be much tighter together, and then I took another look at the instructions and I realized that yes, indeed, I was actually wrong. I should have been stitching them differently, and instead I made gaps between each of the stitches, so I have to untie all of that. But that's okay, you know, we're learning. It's fine. I'm gonna untie all of that, start again, redo that bit off camera, and then get back to you. Okay, so I think I fixed my stitches, and I have much more string left over this time around, so I might actually go and do that original plan that I had, which means now going back to the left here, and then starting again on the next row. Let's try it, see where it goes. I can always untie my mistakes, like I just did. Okay, that didn't work how I thought it would, and I don't know why I thought it would work, to be honest. So I wanted to go up, up, and then to the left, and then go up here. But then when am I gonna go down and finish these half stitches? Do you know what? I can actually finish those half stitches later because I have another one of these colors here, then down here, here, up here, and here. So I can potentially start up from here, go down, up, across, but then I'm gonna finish these and not finish that. No, I can go down from here, go up there, horizontally, then go up there, finish this one, then go to this row, finish that. These guys will already be finished, so I'll go down and then up again. That could work. I'm gonna do that later. So now I just did these two, then there's a gap, and then this one. So I can indeed go up here. I mean, let's try it. Worst comes to worst, I'll untie my stitches. All right, so this is done. I think I can go all the way back now and then start the next row. I'm gonna do this off camera because I think this video is gonna be super long if I keep everything in, and I'll get back to you. Okay, well, some progress has been made. I'm actually quite enjoying the process so far. It's been fun. And you know what? The most difficult part of the entire process for me has been threading the needle. I spent the past literal 10 minutes trying to thread this needle. I ended up having to use soap to make the tip of it sort of harder and more of a peak so I can thread it through, and I had to use the other needle to sort of push it. It was a whole thing. I'm very, very annoyed by this. But it's time to do our second color, and I wanted to show you guys what the back of it looks like so far. We've got all these stitches going, and I sort of threaded through the ends of this, so hopefully it stays secure, but I think it looks decent from the back. time to do the black. For the black, there's only 2 sections. We've got this group of knots here for the left eye, and then this group of knots here for the right eye. We also got some black strings that we have to do with embroidery, but that's not until way, way down the line. So I'm going to start with the left eye, or I guess it's the right eye if you have the point of view of the rabbit. But let's get on that. So we're starting here, right up from where that stitch is, and down. Well, I'm having a lot of fun, and I think I'm getting the hang of how to actually do it. Do you know what? I was really overwhelmed with the pattern to begin with, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I still very much am. But now that I've gotten the hang of how to do this, I think I can do it. I think I can. I hope I can. It's still a pretty big pattern. Honestly, the most difficult part is threading the needle for me. As ridiculous as that sounds, that is genuinely annoying and difficult for me. But we've got the left eye and a little patch here. It's starting to come together. And do the rest off camera because otherwise this video is going to be super long. But I am really enjoying myself. Hello! So it's been just over a week since I filmed those clips, and I got quite a bit done. I'm very happy with my progress. Obviously I still have a lot to go. I've still got the majority of the hat to do, and then the embroidery on the face and the mouth as well. And there's some stitches missing in his tail. But overall the majority is complete, and I think I'm on track to getting this done before Christmas, which was my original plan. I think I can pretty confidently say that I've discovered a new hobby. I'm probably going to Russia again for New Year's, and while I'm there I'm definitely going to purchase some more of these kits, because I'm not quite sure how you actually start doing it on your own. But I definitely want to try some more designs. This is really fun. I hyper-focused on this for like 4 or 5 days straight. I woke up, I sat down, I started my cross stitch, and I just did it for like 10 hours straight, forgetting about everything else in the world until I was too tired and I just went to bed. And I did that for like 4 or 5 days straight, which isn't very healthy, but that's just what I did with this. Like, I enjoyed this a lot, and I'm still working on it slowly. Threading the needle was consistently the most difficult part for me, but I got a needle threader thanks to one of you guys' suggestions on Instagram, so thank you very much. For those of you who don't know what it is, this is what it looks like, because I definitely didn't know what it was before I was told. But you basically insert this into the needle, then you insert the string through that, and then you pull it through the needle. And it threads the needle for you, and this has definitely been a lifesaver, because I'm terrible at threading needles, especially with long nails. But yeah, this has been going really well. I'm pretty sure I discovered a new hobby. I might be doing a couple of videos about cross stitch. I got some requests for tutorials, but I don't think I'm confident enough for a tutorial. Like, this is my first ever project. I don't want to start doing tutorials on something I'm not confident in at all. So instead I'm just gonna link the tutorials that I used. But I might do a couple of like real-time cross-stitch videos if you guys are down for that. Let me know if you want more cross-stitch content. It's definitely not gonna take over my bracelet stuff because bracelets are my main thing, but I can throw in a couple of cross-stitch videos here and there. This is what the project currently looks like from the front. The face looks a little bit weird since it's not embroidered, but this is what it looks like. And this is currently the back. And there's a needle there. I'm holding it. But the back is a bit messy, I'm not gonna lie. But I think it looks fine overall. This is the kind of video where I really want you guys' feedback. So if you do cross stitch, first of all, let me know, because I'd love to know if there are people out there that watch me and also cross stitch. Because I feel like there is a pretty big overlap between the cross stitch and friendship bracelet community, so let me know if that's true. Also, tell me if I made any mistakes, because I'm sure that I did. And you guys probably know more about this than I do, so let me know. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want to see more stuff about cross stitch as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want more content from me, you should follow me on Twitch because I go live there every once in a while. You should also join the Discord. The link to that is in the description. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons and especially my top supporters whose names are gonna appear on screen. Thank you guys very much for your support, and if you also want to become a patron, there is a link in the description where you can sign up and get exclusive perks. But in any case, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! you.